Listen, mister, there's no substitute for good manners, as they are universally accepted and appreciated. What am I talking about? Listen to this guy's story and you'll understand.
Hello, my friends. I'm Daniel Talley, the Note to Self guy, and welcome to the channel. Now, this is not a travel channel, but I just had to share with you all my experience on the MSC Meraviglia. Now, actually, I may be butchering that name, so if I am, sorry about that. You won't believe what happened on this cruise ship. So I boarded the cruise ship, this cruise ship right here, out of New York. There were about 5,000 guests on that ship. And of the 5,000 guests, 3,000 of them were from one ethnic group. So needless to say, that ethnic group represented over 60% of the guests. Now, as a Christian, I had to use two scriptures to keep me from going off on somebody.
Oh my father, what scripture are those? I go off on people every other week.
The first scripture was, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. And the second
Listen,
was,
mister, let me tell you about a life-saving Bible verse. It will keep you from whooping somebody's butt. It may even keep you from getting arrested.
Wow.
It can keep you from saying things you don't mean, which can destroy a relationship. Listen, mister, once you say it, you can't take it back. And what's that Bible verse? A soft word turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. When we know better, we should do better.
every day of this 6-day cruise, I encountered individuals from this certain ethnic group cutting in line in front of me at the buffet table. Not only were they cutting in line, but they were rude, they were obnoxious, and really very inconsiderate. Very rarely did I hear a, excuse me, pardon me, sir, my bad. That was hard to find. Now, I've seen rudeness before, but this right here was at a whole different level. So let me explain a particular situation. I'm in the buffet line trying to get a hamburger and some french fries. So as I reached for the french fries, this lady of this certain ethnic group jumped in front of me and proceeded to, get some fries.
No, she
I looked
didn't.
at her and I said, excuse me, ma'am, but I was here first. It's not nice, it's not polite to cut in front of people without saying excuse me or anything like that. So she looked at me and she gave me one of these looks, and y'all, I have to tell you, if looks could kill, I would be unalive right about now. In addition to giving me that very nasty look, she said something in her native tongue, which obviously I don't speak that native tongue, so I didn't understand what she said. But I can tell this, just from the tone of it, it wasn't very nice. In fact, it sounded like a bit of an insult, for sure. So she quickly walked off, and again, sort of looking back at me with this nasty look on her face, as if I had done her wrong. Lady, you cut in front of me. It wasn't the other way around. Now, I have to tell you, during this exchange, I thought about two scriptures, love thy neighbor as you love thyself, and a soft answer turns away wrath. And I had to use both of these to keep from going off on this lady. And folks, it just didn't stop there. These people were killing the buffet line.
Excuse me, sir. What do you mean, killing the buffet line? I don't understand. Please explain.
Yo, I tell you no lie, pretty much at every table where this ethnic group was sitting at, each one of them had a pile of fruit. Apples, oranges, pears, whatever, stacked up this high. At least, maybe 8 to 10 fruits.
He ain't lying, y'all.
On one plate. And I have to tell you, I couldn't quite understand why they were hoarding all of this fruit. But then I thought, well, maybe they know something that I don't know. Perhaps tomorrow or sometime later this week will be the beginning of the end of the world. So perhaps they're just planning for it. I don't know. It got so bad, y'all, that the staff began to ration our fruit to each guest. 2 pieces of fruit per guest. All this hoarding on the cruise ship made absolutely no sense. And if anybody out there is watching this video and you know the reason why these folks were hoarding all this fruit, please leave a comment. One day at breakfast, I met a lady who was half Taiwanese and half the other ethnic group that I'm talking about. And she said to me that in their country, this type of behavior was normal.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if that's true, but in America, thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry, pardon me, goes a long, long way. You've heard the term, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Well, in this case, that would have been very much applicable. Now, let me tell you, being kind, courteous, and considerate of others truly does go a long way. Many people might call it basic home training. These type of things can take you places that being rude and being obnoxious and being inconsiderate won't take you. And then I thought to myself, Daniel, maybe you're just having a bad experience. So I decided to pick up my camera and walk around the cruise ship and interview a few people to see what they had to say. And boy, did they have something to say. So what was your cruise like?
Well, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is 𝗀𝗽𝗲, and I'm traveling here with 3 of my children. I'm a single mom. So I took the opportunity to really spice up my daughter's birthday and was like, let me drop this money and go on a cruise. It'll be our first cruise, but it is our first cruise. And we have been enjoying ourselves. We have come across some things that are a little bit disconcerting for us because there's no control of the chaotic people that we have on board. But I would say I would have to give big ups to the staff because the staff, although they are being very overly whelmed with what's going on, they do cater to us. I had a situation where even with the whole time changing, I was off with the hours, missed the show, got there half an hour late. Guy saw that I was there and I was there with my daughter, did us the favor and actually rescheduled us for the next show, which was a show that we actually wanted to see. Buffet. I want to talk to you about the buffet. A little crazy. But best bet is to get there as early as you can. Today, or the whole experience has been with a group. I'm not gonna mention what they are, but there's a lot of them. And not very organized, not very polite, rude. But of course we have to find our inner zen and breathe and just let it go and keep going. And just remember why we were here. It was to have a good time, be here with the family and meet some good people.
So can you tell me specifically what this group, what did they do? Give me a real life example of what they did that may have really just irritated you to death.
Okay, so on this cruise, they have certain sections that are catered to children. So in the buffet, there is a kids corner where, kids are very picky eaters. So they cater to their likings, little things that they can have. So I'm there with my children lined up. I'm in front, my 3 are behind me. So I'm in front of the buffet, literally trying to serve them and telling them to go. But behind me, I have the group that is just infiltrating. Like, I'm not even there. Bum rushing, pushing. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn. Things can get really hectic and nasty, but I don't want that because I don't want to show my children that person. But sometimes you got to get down and let it be known and stand 10 toes down and, and affirm your respect. I didn't want to get nasty, but I did turn around and nicely said, "Excuse me." It worked. But, this is kind of like the attitude you kind of have because there is a language barrier. They want to pretend that they don't understand, but we get you because attitude is a universal thing. Either it's in the face, it's in the eyes, or body language. There's no misunderstanding for what that is. So I don't have to vocalize what I'm feeling. You can see it. So it's just rude to know that there's a section for your children and you have adults and seniors just coming for you. Like they don't have an abundance of food around this place. But yeah, gotta make do with what you got. Sometimes if you can't beat them, join them. But I don't wanna join them. That's not what I wanna do. I wanna just be human and humble and respectful. Those morals and ethics that you kind of grew up with. Yeah, that kind of like went out the window with them, but it is what it is.
To all the other passengers aboard this cruise ship, please listen up. Now listen, I know many of you probably have experienced some of the same things that I did, but I got news for you. It is unfair for any of us to blanket a whole race or a whole ethnic group of people based upon what we witnessed on this cruise ship. The thing about stereotyping people is that it brings about hatred. And the world has enough hate in it already. We don't need to be adding to it. So let's just realize it, look at it for really what it is. Rudeness, obnoxiousness, being uncourteous comes in all different races, sizes, and colors. So we should judge each person based on the individual and not blanket a whole group of people and think that everybody from that part of the world acts that way. Now, I have to say, MSC Meraviglia is a beautiful ship, and the staff and crew, they were very friendly, and they really did do a good job. So the issue I have with this cruise had nothing to do with them as much as it had to do with some of the guests that were on the cruise ship. The only thing that they could probably improve upon, the staff and crew is that maybe they could have been a little bit more organized in terms of getting on the boat and getting off the boat, and maybe having things a little better organized on the buffet line. But other than that, they really did do a good job. So, would I do MSC again? Probably so, if the price was right. Note to self, love thy neighbor And a soft answer turns away wrath really did help me out on this cruise. Well, until next time, you guys take care. Chat with you later.